Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. What are you waiting for? No, no, don't look over your shoulder, don't check your watch, don't scroll your phone trying to find the answer. I'm talking to you. Right now, in this moment, what are you waiting for? You waiting for the right time, the right person, the right words. You waiting for somebody to come knock on your door, drag you by the hand and say, now it's your time. You think destiny's gonna leave a voicemail? You think greatness leaves a note under your pillow? Let me tell you something. Time ain't waiting on you. Time keeps walking. Time keeps moving. Time got places to be. And while you're sitting around thinking, wondering, doubting, wishing, time is handing your opportunity to someone else. Someone who got up this morning and said, enough waiting, I'm becoming. See, the world doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to who you are. Who you choose to be, who you become. The world ain't checking for folks who sit still. The world pays attention to those who stand up and say, I'm here, I'm ready, I will. Let me break something down to you. You got breath in your lungs. You got purpose in your bones. You got strength in your struggle and victory in your voice. You got all the tools, all of them. But tools don't build houses, builders do. Tools don't paint masterpieces, artists do, and dreams don't build lives, actions do. There are people out there with half your talent, half your heart, half your vision outworking you, outlasting you. Out becoming you, not because they're better, no. They just decided not to wait, stop waiting, become. I know you've been through things. I know life hit you with some storms you didn't see coming. I know some of y'all been hurt, betrayed, left behind, told you weren't enough. And I ain't here to sugarcoat it. Life ain't always fair, but life ain't interested in excuses. Life honors the ones who get back up. The ones who say, this pain, this scar, this loss, it's gonna teach me, not trap me. Stop waiting for the pain to disappear. It might not, but you can grow past it. You can rise with it. You can walk through it. You can become because of it. You waiting for someone to believe in you. Then let me say it loud, I believe in you. But let me be real, my belief doesn't matter if you don't believe in yourself. You waiting for the perfect moment, there is no perfect moment. Only the one you're willing to step into. The moment you say, I've got something inside me the world ain't seen yet, and I'm tired of hiding it. You were not born to be a placeholder. You were not created to be a backup plan. You were not designed to live on the sidelines watching everybody else win. No, you were born to become. But here's the truth, nobody wants to say becoming is work. It's waking up early. It's saying no when everybody else says yes. It's failing and falling and fighting again. Becoming ain't easy, but neither is regret, and only one of those roads leads to greatness. Stop looking at your past like it's a prison. That chapter is written. It taught you something, but it ain't your whole story. Don't you let a bad year, a bad season, a bad moment decide your destiny. That page might be bent, but the book ain't over. You got a choice to make, and don't give me that I'm too late nonsense. You ain't too late. As long as you got breath, you got time. As long as you got a heartbeat, you got purpose. As long as you can speak, you got power. But hear me now, your future doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins the moment you stop waiting. You think the mountain's gonna move for you. No, you move yourself. You climb it step by step, scrape by scrape. You don't need a map, you are the map. Every mistake, every tear, every lesson, it's been shaping you, preparing you. Now it's time to become. You want to be a leader. Start leading your life. You want to be respected. Respect yourself enough to start. You want to change the world, then change the next hour, the next day, the next decision. Stop saying someday. Someday is a ghost. It don't exist. Today is the only promise you got, and it's knocking right now, loud, asking you what are you going to do with me? You waiting for motivation. Let me tell you something, motivation comes and goes. It's fickle. It's a feeling. What you need is discipline. Discipline stays when motivation leaves. Discipline is the alarm clock when the bed is warm. Discipline is the grind when the glory's gone. Discipline builds while everyone else is wishing. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need a crowd to be significant, but you do need to choose. Choose your future over your fear. Choose your calling over your comfort. Choose to become, not just dream. Don't just want it, work it. Don't just imagine it, live it. Don't just hope, hustle. I don't care if you failed yesterday. You are not your failure. You are not your delay. You are not the one who almost did. You are the one who will. Now don't misunderstand me. Becoming doesn't mean being perfect. It means being in process. It means showing up every day imperfect, but present. It means showing the world and yourself that your commitment is louder than your doubt. And let me say this to the ones who feel small: you matter. You matter in rooms you haven't even entered yet. You matter in conversations behind closed doors. You matter because your voice, your heart, your gift, somebody needs it. And they'll never receive it if you keep waiting. Don't keep your greatness locked up because you're afraid of failing. The world ain't asking for perfect. It's asking for real. It's asking for you. You weren't put here to blend in. You weren't put here to coast. You were made to rise, made to impact, made to shine. So shine even if it's messy. Shine even if it's quiet. Shine even if nobody claps, because becoming ain't about the applause. It's about the alignment. It's about becoming the version of you that God whispered into the world when He made you. Yeah, I said it. This ain't just about success. This is spiritual. This is soul level. You think your vision came from nowhere. You think your passion was an accident. No, it was planted for this moment, for this season. So stop dismissing your dream like it's a hobby. It's your assignment. Now get up with your doubts, get up with your scars, get up with your fears, and walk forward anyway. Crawl if you have to, but stop waiting. Become the builder, become the voice, become the one who changes the room just by walking into it. Become the one who shows others it's possible. Become the story you wish someone had told you. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your legacy. You owe it to the ones who never had the chance you've got right now. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Don't wait to be validated. Approve yourself. Don't wait to be ready. Step in and become ready on the way. The future ain't written yet, but your hands, they're holding the pen. So write something worth living. You keep saying, I'll do it when the time is right. But the time you're waiting for, it doesn't exist. There is no perfect morning, no golden hour, no sign from the sky that tells you now is the moment. You are the sign, you are the moment. Every second that ticks by is a second you'll never get back. You can't save time in a jar, and you can't borrow it from tomorrow. All you have is now, and what you do with it determines everything. We've been conditioned to believe that we need to feel ready, that we need to feel motivated before we move. But let me tell you something, motivation is fleeting. You can't rely on a feeling to build a future. That's not how life works. You won't always feel like it. Most of the time you won't, but that doesn't mean you stop. It means you move anyway, because the difference between those who talk about success and those who live it, it's action, not talk, not hope. Action. Too many people are sitting on gifts, talents, dreams that the world is starving for, and they're waiting for clarity, waiting for approval, waiting for someone to say, you've got what it takes. But let me tell you this, you've had what it takes since day one, but it's useless if it sits inside you. It's like a lamp you never plug in, a fire you never light. Power means nothing without direction. You keep telling yourself the story that you're not ready. But readiness is not a place you arrive at. It's a choice you make. You become ready by moving. You become prepared by practicing. You become strong by standing up. Sitting still has never built a single dream. It has only buried them. The enemy of your future is not failure. It's hesitation. It's indecision. It's waiting. Waiting is fear in disguise. It's comfort wrapped in good intentions. You tell yourself, I'm just being smart. I'm just being careful. But sometimes being too careful is the most dangerous thing you can do. Because while you wait, while you plan, while you weigh the options, someone else is building, they're risking, they're becoming. And by the time you move, the window's closed. Let's get real for a minute. You've already waited long enough. You've watched other people pass you by. You've seen them rise, and you've felt that ache, that deep pull in your chest that says, I know I'm meant for more. That ache is not there to torture you. It's there to wake you. To stir something inside you that won't let you settle for average, because you weren't made for average. You were made for impact. You were made to stand up and say, I refuse to die with this potential still in me. Some of you are waiting for the fear to go away, but fear doesn't leave until you confront it. Fear feeds off inaction. It grows when you freeze, but when you move, when you take that first step, even with your knees shaking, fear shrinks. Fear backs down because it knows it doesn't own you anymore, and it never did. It only had the power you gave it. Others are waiting for the world to get better, for the circumstances to change, for the stars to align. But listen, life has never been about what the world gives you. It's about what you give the world. Circumstances might never be perfect. You might always have something going on, a bill to pay, a relationship to fix, a job that drains you. But if you keep waiting for life to get easier, you'll miss your life completely. Sometimes you have to move while it's messy. You have to build while it's broken. You have to create while you're tired. That's how leaders are made. That's how legacies are born. Not in ideal conditions, but in pressure, in chaos, in the middle of storms. Greatness doesn't avoid the storm, it rises in it. You think people who succeeded were always certain. No, they were scared, they had doubts, but they moved anyway, because they understood something. Clarity comes from doing, not from thinking. The more you wait, the more fog you invite. But when you take that first step, when you put one foot in front of the other, you start to see the path. Not all at once, but enough to keep going. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You don't need all the answers. Just start asking better questions. Start doing small things with excellence. Start showing up for yourself like your future depends on it. Because it does. There are people waiting for what you have, for your voice, your business, your story. And if you keep it bottled up, if you keep waiting for permission, they lose. The world loses, and so do you. Don't rob us of your gift. Don't rob yourself of the life that's waiting for you. If you're willing to stop waiting, some of you have been told you're not enough, that you don't belong, that your dream is too big, too crazy, too impossible. But those are just projections. That's someone else's fear, not your reality. Your job is not to make everyone understand. Your job is to move anyway. Let them doubt, let them mock, let them watch, because one day they'll say, I always knew you had it in you. And you'll smile, not because they were right, but because you were. Let them think you're rushing. Let them think you're reaching. Let them think whatever they want, because this ain't their life, it's yours. And if you keep living it on pause, one day you'll be filled with regret. And regret is heavier than failure. At least failure teaches you something. Regret, it just lingers, it haunts, it whispers what if. Every night you try to sleep. So forget perfection, forget timing, forget waiting for someone to save you. You are your rescue, you are your turning point. You are the one who decides, I'm not sitting on the sidelines anymore. Not tomorrow, not next year, not when it's easier, now, because now is all you've got. Becoming is not something handed to you. It's not a crown dropped in your lap or a spotlight that suddenly finds you one day while you're standing still. Becoming isn't magic, it's not luck. It's not a title that someone else gives you. It's not a secret only a few people are born with. It's a decision, a choice, one you make daily, and most of the time, it's the hardest, most inconvenient, most uncomfortable choice you'll ever make. See, people talk about greatness like it's inherited, like it's something passed down or awarded in some special ceremony. They'll say that person was born for it. But no one is born finished, no one is born disciplined. No one is born with success etched into their DNA. What you're born with is potential, raw, wild, unshaped potential. What you do with it, that's where the becoming happens. That's where the choice comes in. Every single day you get to choose, stay the same or grow. Sit down or stand up. Stay silent or speak your truth. Wait to be picked or pick yourself. And let me tell you something. Most people don't choose to become, not because they can't, but because it's hard. It requires sacrifice. It demands honesty. It forces you to face the mirror and say, this version of me, it's not enough for where I'm going. It takes courage to admit that the life you want doesn't match the life you are living. It takes humility to realize that wanting something and becoming someone worthy of that thing are two very different paths. See, wanting is easy, dreaming is free, but becoming, that's the cost. That's the part nobody claps for. That's the part where you're tired, frustrated, questioning why you started in the first place, and you keep going anyway. Becoming means breaking habits that have kept you stuck. It means unlearning lies that were handed to you by people who didn't believe in themselves. It means building character when nobody's watching. It means falling flat on your face and getting up without needing applause, because the becoming isn't about validation, it's about alignment with your calling, with your values, with the future version of you that already knows how this story ends. You've seen that version of yourself. You've felt glimpses of it, maybe in a dream, maybe in a quiet moment, maybe when your back was against the wall and you had no choice but to rise. That version of you, it's waiting, but it won't come alive because you wished for it. It won't emerge because you hoped hard enough. It will show up when you start making decisions that match the destiny you say you want. You can't become something new while clinging to the old. You can't step into purpose while dragging your comfort zone behind you. You've got to let go of who you were, even if that version was safe, even if it was familiar. Because becoming is a death and a birth at the same time. It's the end of one chapter and the terrifying beginning of another. And the space in between, that's where most people quit. That's where they say, maybe this isn't for me. That's where they convince themselves that maybe being average isn't so bad. That maybe their dreams were too big. That maybe playing small is safer. But deep down, they know the truth. You can lie to the world. You can even lie to the people around you, but you can't lie to your soul. Your soul knows, it always knows, and it will keep reminding you. Through frustration, through restlessness, through that quiet ache in your spirit that whispers, there's more. Choosing to become means choosing to walk through the fire, not around it, not away from it, through it. It means saying no to short-term pleasure so you can build long-term purpose. It means embracing the process, even when it's slow, even when it's painful, even when nobody else sees your progress, because you're not doing this for show. You're doing it for your becoming. You want to be strong. Then choose discipline when laziness is easier. You want to be a leader. Then choose integrity when nobody else is watching. You want to be excellent. Then choose consistency when no one's clapping for you. Because becoming is a series of small, quiet, invisible decisions that no one will ever see until they do. And when they finally do see it, when the results start to show, that's when they'll call it talent. That's when they'll say you're lucky. That's when they'll say you were born with it. But you will know better. You'll know the nights you stayed up grinding while others slept. You'll know the tears you cried in silence. You'll know the days you showed up with nothing in the tank but still gave everything. That's the price of becoming, that's the choice. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Don't wait for the fear to vanish. Don't wait for the pain to disappear. Make the choice in the middle of the mess. Make the choice when it's not convenient. Make the choice when your voice is shaking. Because every time you choose to push forward, you become stronger. Every time you show up for your purpose, you get closer. Every time you take responsibility for your life, you take power back. You want to know what separates the ones who make it from the ones who don't? It's not talent, it's not connections, it's not money. It's the decision to become again and again, even when it's lonely, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't make sense. They don't wait to feel like it. They don't need everything to be perfect. They just decide, and that decision, that's everything, because becoming isn't a one-time event. It's not a finish line, it's a daily practice. It's choosing growth over comfort, purpose over pleasure, discipline over distraction. It's not a gift. It's not something you win. It's something you build with your habits, with your mindset, with your actions. And it's waiting on no one but you. You've been through some things, things that broke you down, things that made you question your worth, things that left scars you can still feel when the world gets quiet. You've faced moments that shook your soul, words that cut deeper than blades, losses that left empty spaces no one else sees. And somewhere along the way, you started believing that all of that, the pain, the mistakes, the regrets, that all of it somehow defined you, that your past became your identity, that what you went through is who you are. But it's not. You are not your trauma, you are not your guilt, you are not your failure, you are not what they did to you, and you are not what you did when you didn't know better. Your pain is real. Your past happened, but it does not get to dictate your future unless you let it. See, we live in a world that tries to put labels on people like price tags. It wants to box you in based on your worst moments. It wants to tell you that because you fell, you can't rise. That because you were broken, you can't be whole. That because you were lost, you don't deserve to be found. But those are lies, and lies only work if you believe them. The truth is this: every pain you've survived, every storm you've weathered, every tear you've cried has carved strength into your bones. You've got wisdom now. You've got grit. You've got a story that didn't end with a struggle. You've got depth in your eyes that only comes from walking through fire and coming out the other side still breathing. You think those scars disqualify you? No, they qualify you. They're proof that you've been in the battle and lived to tell the tale. They're not signs of weakness. They're medals of endurance, evidence that you didn't fold, that even when the world said you should give up, you kept going, maybe limping, maybe crawling, but going. There's power in that. There's power in surviving. There's power in choosing to keep becoming even when the past keeps calling your name, and make no mistake, it will call. The past doesn't let go easy. It'll show up in your mind late at night. It'll whisper in your ear when you're about to step into something new. It'll remind you of every time you failed, every time you got hurt, every time you made the wrong call. But you don't have to answer. You don't have to pick up. Your job is not to forget the past. It's to outgrow it. It's to take the lessons and leave the weight. It's to let what happened shape you, not shatter you. Because pain can do one of two things. It can bury you, or it can build you. And you get to choose. You're allowed to feel it. You're allowed to sit with it, to grieve, to break down, to ask why me. But you're not allowed to live there. You're not allowed to stay stuck in a chapter that was meant to teach you something. That chapter was never the end. It was the plot twist, the setup for your rise. You think your story is over because you made some mistakes. Everyone has. The only difference between those who rise and those who don't is that the ones who rise stop punishing themselves for being human. They stop letting shame drive the car. They stop living like their yesterday has the final word. You don't have to keep replaying the same old story in your mind. You can rewrite it. You can pick up the pen and say, "This is not how my story ends." You can decide that the pain was a teacher, not a definition, that your past was a season, not a sentence. There are people out there who need the version of you that didn't quit, the version of you who turned the pain into purpose, who took the loss and turned it into a lesson, who used the suffering to connect, to inspire, to lift others up. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest and brave. Brave enough to face the mirror and say, "That may have happened to me, but it will not happen through me. It ends here." You've got to stop carrying the weight like it's still yours. That moment is gone. That mistake is behind you. That heartbreak is not today's burden. The people who couldn't love you right, that was their limitation, not your worth. You are not hard to love. You are not unworthy. You are not broken beyond repair. You are healing. You are evolving. You are shedding the past like old skin. And yes, healing takes time. Yes, there are days when it feels like the pain is winning. But that doesn't mean you aren't growing. Growth is quiet. Sometimes it feels like nothing is changing, but beneath the surface, everything is shifting. Every time you choose not to lash out, every time you pause and breathe instead of breaking, every time you show up anyway, that's progress. That's becoming. You are not bound to who you used to be. You're not stuck in who you were when you were hurt. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to become someone that passed. You never imagined, because now you know better. Now you are better. Not because it came easy, but because you chose to rise when it didn't. Some people will try to hold you hostage to who you used to be. Let them talk. Let them hold on to that old version of you. That's none of your business anymore. You've outgrown that skin. You've upgraded your spirit. You've stepped into something bigger. And I get it, it's hard to believe sometimes. When you've been hurt long enough, you start to believe that maybe the pain is permanent. That maybe joy isn't for you. That maybe you don't deserve peace. But you do. You always have. And the fact that you're still standing, still breathing, that's the proof. You weren't just built to survive. You were built to transform. So the next time that voice in your head tells you you're not enough, remind it who you've become. Remind it what you've walked through. Remind it that you may have been bruised, but you are not broken. That you may have been lost, but you are not gone. That you may have stumbled, but you never surrendered. And in case no one's told you lately, you're doing better than you think. You're further than you give yourself credit for. You are healing, becoming, rising in ways the world may not see, but your spirit knows, and that's everything. You spend too much time waiting for someone to tell you you're good enough, waiting for someone to clap for you, to nod in approval, to say, now you can start. You keep looking outside yourself for permission, like someone else holds the key to your destiny. But the truth is, no one's coming to crown you. No one's coming to hand you your value. That's your job. That's always been your job. You've been taught to believe that validation comes from outside, through likes, through applause, through titles, through someone saying, I see you. But what happens when nobody sees you? What happens when no one claps, when no one notices, when the room goes silent? Do you stop? Do you shrink? Do you give up? You've got to learn to clap for yourself. You've got to learn to rise without a witness, to move without an audience. Because your worth isn't measured by other people's reactions. Your worth is not up for debate. It's not based on popularity. It's not based on acceptance. It's based on the truth that you were born with value. Not earned it, not proved it, born with it. You don't need a round of applause to validate your vision. You don't need someone else to understand it, believe in it, or even like it. That dream in your chest was given to you. Not them, that vision was meant for your eyes first. And if nobody else sees it yet, that's okay. Sometimes greatness looks crazy before it looks genius. Sometimes purpose looks invisible before it becomes undeniable. The problem is, we wait for validation to begin. We wait to be noticed before we move. But that waiting, that doubt, that delay, it keeps us stuck. It tricks us into thinking we're not ready. But readiness doesn't come from approval. It comes from belief, and that belief has to start with you. Not the world, not your friends, not your family, you. There will be seasons where nobody understands what you're doing, where it feels like you're building something only you believe in. That's not failure. That's faith. That's what building something real looks like. You've got to plant the seeds before anyone sees the harvest. And planting is lonely. Planting is dirty. Planting takes time. But just because they don't see the roots doesn't mean nothing's growing. You don't need to go viral to be valuable. You don't need a platform to have purpose. You don't need the whole world to clap for you when you know who you are. And if you don't know yet, then that's the work. Knowing, not proving, not chasing. Knowing, and knowing starts with getting quiet. It starts with getting honest. It starts with asking yourself, what do I believe about me when there's no noise, no feedback, no likes, no compliments? If your worth crumbles when the applause fades, it wasn't rooted deep enough, because real confidence isn't loud. It's grounded. It's still. It's that inner fire that says, even if no one claps, I'm still showing up. Even if they doubt me, I don't doubt me. Validation from others is temporary. One day they'll praise you. The next day they'll criticize you. You can't build your future on a shaky foundation like public opinion. You have to build it on something unshakable. And the most unshakable thing in this world is a person who knows their own value. People will project their fears onto you, their limitations, their doubt. Some will question your moves, not because you're wrong, but because they're scared to make their own. Some will try to dim your light because they're afraid of how bright you shine. And if you keep needing their approval, you'll keep shrinking to fit into places you were meant to outgrow. You don't need a room to say yes when you've already told yourself yes. You don't need them to believe in your gift when you've already chosen to use it. And when they say, who does she think she is? Or what makes him think he can do that? The answer is simple. I don't think, I know. I know who I am. I know what I carry. I know what I've survived, and I'm not waiting anymore. You want to be free, then stop tying yourself, worth to someone else's recognition. Stop waiting for someone to tell you you made it. You don't need their stamp. You don't need their certificate. You were already enough when you showed up. The only thing missing was your belief in it. And let's be clear. Believing in yourself doesn't mean arrogance. It means ownership. It means taking responsibility for your life. It means saying, I will not hand over my confidence to people who don't know my journey. I will not beg for acceptance in rooms I was never meant to sit in. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to beg. You were born to walk like you know the road is yours, even when it's not paved yet. You keep asking for opinions from people who have never built what you're building. You keep looking for advice from people who quit on their own dreams. You keep searching for applause from folks who are more committed to fitting in than standing out. That's backwards. You've got to start drawing from your own well. Feel yourself first, and when you do that, when you validate your own spirit, nobody can take that from you. Some people are going to doubt you no matter what you do, so do it anyway. Some are going to misunderstand your drive, your growth, your silence. Let them. You don't owe anyone an explanation for chasing what sets your soul on fire. You don't owe them comfort at the cost of your calling. You know what makes people uncomfortable. Someone who doesn't flinch when they're overlooked. Someone who doesn't break when they're underestimated. Someone who keeps going, not to prove a point, but because their purpose demands it. That's what you're stepping into. You've got to be the one who says, I see me, I know me, I choose me. And when you do that, something powerful happens. You stop chasing people. You stop seeking permission. You stop asking, is this okay? And you start declaring, this is who I am. You start living from your own approval. You start moving with authority. And when people finally notice, when they finally ask how you did it, you'll smile, not because you needed their validation, but because you learned how to thrive without it. You learned how to be your own confirmation. You became your own source. You didn't wait to be picked. You picked yourself, and that made all the difference.